Welcome. I am Crimey Queen. Okay, I thought I would begin by showing this table of conversion that I have been working with, but um, I'm trying to be creative here because I have not learned how to insert a picture in or to edit a video. So I usually just do the videos without editing. And so bear with me while I just talk you through this conversion that I have done here. So you would have come across many of these here, for instance, with number 1. Of course, when we do the numerical value for 1, it equals 7. So the numbers here written in black really correspond to the numerical value of each number, which is the symbols of these numbers right here. So for instance, we have 1 equals 7, 2 equals 13, 3 equals 11, 4 equals 24, and which is 6, of course, when we do the add the numerical digits together. And 5 equals 24 as well. We have seen the similarities and perhaps why they have showed that way. And so this is also 6. The number 6, which is partly erased, but it's 6 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 here equals 20. Of course, 2 plus 0 is 2. Then we have 8, which is 31. And according to the last video that I did, we see how 8 as 31, which is 4, seem to be pinnacle to all the gods here, because we will cover why we have not got number 4 in this row of the gods here. So 9 here also equals 24, which is 6. So basically, this is why I like to be able to have something like this. We can see from numbers 1 to 9, which is numerology we are talking about, we do have 3 6s. So number 4, 5, and 9 equals, they each equals 6. So 3 6s. If we remember well that 666 or 3 6s have been spoken of quite a lot in the terms of being quite negative, and it is evil, and there is a lot that we have not clearly understood about the 3 6s, which actually equals 18, and 1 plus 8 equals 9. So it takes us back to 9. But we can see here that there is a strong correlation with 24 here, which we know, for instance, 24 is actually, I'm trying to remember where we would have 24, okay, but we have 12 as 12 months of the year, the 12 zodiac signs, and so on. So 12 hours of the day. Oh, this is what I wanted. 24 hours of the day, day and night. So there we have the 24 here, which is indicative of the hours of the day. Now 3, of course, 3 is also very pinnacle, because we have worked with number 3. We have seen 3 equals the first master number, which is 2. We also have seen how the word 11, that's in past presentations, the word 11 also equals 9. We can see how we have 9, 11. I have covered this in other presentations, but just do bear with me because it makes it a little bit awkward to really work on this board here, but I will try. So just getting a pen. So we have 11, E-L-E-V-E-N, which I always say has Mother Eve. I like to make reference of Mother Eve here. So it's 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5. If we add these together, this is 10, 15, 20, and this would be 25, 26, 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. So we can see how 11 is 9. And of course, the hair, we have 3 is 11. So there is a very powerful number, how we have seen how the energies and impact of 9/11, for instance. So 9/11, we would think that there is a separate vibrational or number attached with 11, but it would seem like 11 has the vibration to execute 9, as we can see right here. And of course, Mother Eve is in the middle here. We see the word 11 in itself seem to tell us quite a lot. It's got 11. If we think of unleavened bread, for instance, I'm not sure if it's spelled correctly. It has Mother Eve in the middle. It also has even, to even out something. We can see all these words are there. It also have, I'm just looking at other words that it may consist. We have level. Of course, it's 2 L's in level, but we can see it's the same letters. So basically, that is really telling us both symbolically with the symbol of 11, the 2 ones, and the written word, that it has a very strong vibration to it. So now here we have these green numbers here, of course, on this list that I have just counted. It's to really show the single digit of each number or word form of these numbers, because we are talking numerology, so it's 1 to 9. This is a 9 here. I'm not sure if you can see 9 on the hair, but this is 8, and there is 9. Okay, perhaps you can't quite see it, but okay, I'll just lift it a little. All right, okay. Then, so we have a pattern. We have worked out a pattern with these numbers. We have 7, 4, 2, 6. Then we have 6, 7, 2, 4. Or perhaps we need to just look at it this way, because it's 9 digits. So it's 7, 4, 2, 6. And then we have, if we were to start from the other end here, of 9, I'm going to lift it here so you can see. There we have 6, 4, 2, 7. So I remember on my last presentation, I did draw something like an hourglass, for instance. It may not be the perfect hourglass, but we can see that here. Okay, let's see if I can rub this off. Okay, so we have 7, it's 6, 4, 2, 7, yes, 6, 4, 2, 7, and 7, 4, 2, 6. So basically, we have the same numbers going on opposite ends, which is, here would be 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, 4, sorry, 7, 4, 2, 6. Okay, so we can see the reverse numbers. So it's as if they're mirrored, or it's a cycle. We are following the cycle here. 6, 4, 2, 7, 7, 4, 2, 6. I hope I've got this correct. Yes, 7, 246 7426. Okay, so there's another placement with the 7 and the 6 at the end. Yeah, that's what it is. But we can see that the numbers are really mirroring each other. So there is a 6 in the middle right here, and I'm wondering whether it would be it would make better sense to count the 6 instead of the last one here. So we would have 6724, and here it still would mean we have 6247. So there's still a play with the position of the numbers. All right. The next thing that we have, but we can see that there is a pattern here. So basically this would be here and this would be down here, and we have 6 in the middle. 6 in the middle is indicative of Mother Eve's position, and of course Mother Eve is still letting us know that her presence is in at both ends and in the middle of the numbers. This is how it seems here. So we have 4 numbers on either end, which is also indicating balance as though we had the 5 in the sacrifice template. Just to show you. So it would seem like we have the 5 in the sacrifice template here. So this is the 6th position because we have got a number 6 here. I'm sorry it's faded a bit. Again, it's how I've been handling this, but this is meant to be 6 and this is 3. So these are the numbers we have: 369, 369, 369. Okay, so we have got 6 here. Oh, I bent my butterfly. Oh, my feather. No, why am I saying butterfly? Okay, because I saw so many butterflies today, and I think they are real good metaphors for transformation, of course, which I'm feeling that I am going through right now. Okay, so there we are with the numbers. Now, what we have found out, having looked at the gods in their position in the Bible, we have seen we had the first God with the the first God was the created God stated in the Bible when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, meaning the first God mentioned here was created, the created God. And so we had the moved God followed by the said God, which is the third entry for Mother Eve, indicating the again 3 number, which we indicate as the third. So it's the first master number corresponding somehow with the created God right here too, because created equals 11, which is 2. So the moved God equals 5. The said God equals 6, of course. I know this is another equation we have here, but let's concentrate on the saw God, 7, divided God is 3, the called God is 1, made God is 5, set God is 8, and blessed God is 3. So these are the positions that the gods have presented themselves. And it's not to say that there wouldn't be 2 entries or more or so for an individual god, but each god showed in this order after the other as we have here. And these are 9 gods corresponding with number 9 or 9 digits. The 9 digits or numbers 1 to 9 as in numerology. So we have got the gods vibrational numerical values here, right here. which we have added, and we had got a sum total of 40 when we added these numbers together. So for instance, we had 2, 5, this is 7, plus 6 would be 13, and plus 7 would be 20, 23, 24, 29, 37 plus 3 is 40. So we can see how we have got 40 here. I know I may be repeating myself in these tables, but it's just that I think it makes sense that we really get this as the basis or the anchor for what is meant to follow, because I believe that the 9 gods here, for instance, are in correspondence with the 9 planets, and that is Venus, Mercury, Earth, we have Mars, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter. I think I have missed one, but do forgive me. But there we are. This is what is happening, and I have done this in meditation to know that they are corresponding with the planets. However, what I have been trying to understand is which of the gods, for instance, in the Holy Bible, that corresponds to the planet, how do they match? That's what I have been trying to work out. Now, I have got an intuitive message from Mother Eve in meditation, and having Mercury, for instance, would correspond to the divided God and the blessed God. So there we are, because they both equal 3. So divided and blessed, and Mercury in numerical value equals 3. So I have not quite understood exactly how they match otherwise. But this is what Mother Eve is more or less telling me. So for instance, Earth equals 7, and basically 7 would be on here would correspond with number 6, which is also Mother Eve as the serpent, but it would be the saw God and the formed God. So I've got to go over these again and really meditate on this, and to have clear perspective how the planets correspond to the gods here. I'm not sure if I had mentioned in all one presentation, because this is what I'm trying to really give the big picture, or the detailed picture of how we've been doing so far with understanding the gods. And here, for instance, we have repositioned the gods in accordance with where Mother Eve has called us to be. So Mother Eve has called us to begin our new journey, if you like, because perhaps it was just about the time when Uranus had entered the 2nd zodiac sign that Mother Eve was really showing us that we had come to the end of a cycle, and the word end actually equals 5. So we were dealing a lot with number 5. It's really 9 and 5. I was talking about the inland revenue, where we had to pay our dues, meaning we had to ensure that we are completing the cycle. By the way, if you are new to this channel, this is a depiction of Mother Eve hair. We have had several faces. Of course, the hair seemed to have been rubbed off hair because I've been handling this, but we could see it as an invisible bow. Okay, this is the mouth, which Mother Eve represents as the serpent. Of course, or as we were told that Mother Eve ate of the fruit. And this is why we have the number 8 here. The number 8 also equals the word eat or et, or I, for instance. So there the word E-I-E-Y-E. So basically, the I also equals 9. So we can see how the numbers are interrelated with the symbols or the meanings here. So Mother Eve was beckoning us to get into this new stage, because where there is an end, there is a new beginning. So we can see the word beginning equals 9. I will not do this now because this is what I mean about us understanding the basics. And this is now basic because I cover this all the time. The word beginning equals 9. And of course, 5 is in the middle of numbers 1 to 9. So 5 means key. If we do the numerical value for the word key, it equals 5. Or the word open equals 5. So we can see that it means the I is central to the message that we have been given. It's really like telling us we need to open our eye. This is the third eye. So anytime we use the word I, or even make reference to I as an individual, this perhaps is there to remind us about the third eye, or how do we see with our eyes. And basically, I believe it's a message being presented here. So this is what I really feel is important, that we get to understand this as the anchor, or the it has been serving as a robust template. So this is the template, and I'll just go over it very quickly. This is where this is meant to be a J, so we call this the jazz phase. This is where we do our jazz. We even in the word like musical jazz, which is J-A-Z-Z, or like Americans would say ZZ, or whoever does say that. But this is the jazz. This is where we do the bucket or basket. This is where unity is. This is where we are eating, more or less, you could say, from the same plate or the same table or bucket. And no wonder Kentucky has got it, the food, and talking about buckets, because there is the strong number 2, which is of unity. And this B here also symbolizes the number 13, that has come together and created a bond, just as though they were in agreement of the Last Supper. The Last Supper, where Christ was at the table with his disciples at the Last Supper. So this is the B, and that's what sometimes I would refer to this as the Kentucky. I don't like to mention it much, but it gives us all a clear understanding of the significance of number 2. Hopefully I can find something more positive to make reference to. Then we have luck, which is the C, and it falls on the C. So basically numbers 1 to 3, we are doing the sack position. And then numbers R, I, F, we are doing the riff. That's in the middle. This is where things seem to get tough. This is where we seem to get into the meat of whatever it is we are doing. And the challenge seems to be, this is where we say it's real. This is where the change really takes place. So profound, in a sense that we wonder whether to go back or press on forward. But this is where the making is happening with number 5, where Mother Eve is now showing we are being new here, or MEN upside down. That would be men becoming new. So number 6 would be the fox on his journey. 7, the gypsy journey, where we really get into full acceptance, we could say, because we could see the 7 is really making its presence felt. This is the serpent with its neck up. We could say it's really making its presence felt there. And one could say this is where the era, a new era had begun, because there we heard about Mother Eve ate of the fruit. Of course, as we say, the word eat or ate is here in this column on the C. This is where it is noted. This is where questions were asked. Have you eaten of the fruit? This is where one had to go to headquarters zone, or this is where we learn of the story that God had to make aprons for the couple. But here they were sent to the far east of the garden. They had to pay the inland revenue cost. This is what I'm talking about, paying your dues. So here we are talking, it's a new era happening right here with the inland revenue. And we can see that the I is very present here again. So this is change is happening here, beginning and end. We can see from here that the two have the very same in common, even in the letter form, beginning and end. So this is what we have been talking about here. Now, I like the word now again because it equals 7, which is what we are talking about, being present. So, just to show you that, which you may have seen this before as well. So as I said, this is really going back with the 9 gods, but the 5 gods of Genesis, which is we have got the 5 gods of Genesis, chapter 2, were the formed God, the caused God. Oh yes, they are in order. The ended God, the caused God, the 7th, the formed God, the 9. Oh, I'm talking about, because I'm pointing here, the breathed God, which is 9, and the planted God, which is also 9. Now, when we do the numerical value again for these digits, like we have done 5, the word form, this gives us 6. So the word form for 8, the word 8 would equal 4. And so we have added these up as well. We see, even doing these here, we also have 3 6s on the 5 entries of the gods here. So we have 6 for ended, 6 for breathed, and 6 for planted. And these are the things that I feel is so important for us to pay attention to. So why have we got 3 6s here among the 5 gods, and we also have 3 6s in the numbers? And let's see how many 6s we have. Oh, we have only 1 6 among the 9 gods here. Oh, let's have a look here. Only 1 6 among the 9 gods. So there, of course, it would seem with the 3 6s we have from the 5 gods and 1 6 in among the in the word form. Let's look at this again. So in the word form, we have 2 6s in the word form of the 9 gods of Genesis chapter 1. So basically in total, we have 5 gods, or 5 6s. 5 of the gods have 6 vibration. It would mean the moved God have the 6 vibration here, and the made God the moved God and the made God, and they both have a numerical value of 5. And of course the ended God also, which we have, and the breathed God and the planted God. Now there's another pattern we have here, which is very close to the pattern that we have done with these numbers. This is what I want to really point out. So here we have 7, 4, 2, 6. Then below we have 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we have these 9. Basically we have 4 different digits here, which is 7, 4, 2, 6. And here, when we add the numerical values of the gods that we have found among the 9 gods, I find it very intriguing that we should have the same numbers here and also following the same pattern or similar pattern, because we haven't got the 6 in the middle, as it were. So we have 4, 6, 7, 2. Then we have 2, 7, 6, 4. Now this is more a direct mirror aspect, because we have 2 2s here. I hope you can see this. Oh, okay, let's do this here. Okay, so I'll go over this again just in case you missed it. So among these that we have done here for the gods, which is the created God, the moved God, and so on, it seemed to correspond with the same numbers that we have got from numbers 1 to 9 when we do the numerical form for them. The numerical form, right, for numbers here 1 to 9, they really show up is 7, 4, 2, 6. Then we have 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. So there are 4 different digits that we have. We do not have the number 5 or the number 3 or 8 or even 9. And having, excuse me, having done the numerical value for the gods here, in the order that they had been entered in the Bible, as created, moved, said, saw, divided, called, made, set, and blessed, we see that there is a similar pattern here. I am intrigued to understanding why this pattern is so. And the pattern here is 4, 6, 7, 2, 2, 7, 6, 4. Excuse me. And then we have the last one, because it's 9, is 2. So 2, I'm believing, of course, when we added this together, we also have, or we've also totaled them up to number 40, just as though it were here. So the numerical values or vibrations seem consistent somehow in its total state in both columns, regardless of the symbols that are changed here in this sense. So when we add the total digits for letter free, word free, sorry, the word 3, the number 11 equals 2. However, 2 and 3 would seem very different, but adding all these digits together, somehow we have still got 40, and adding these here together, somehow we still have 40. This tells us that there is something very 40, in fact, just making sure you've seen this, something very significant about 40. Of course, I know I have covered this in other presentations, but again, I really want to understand, and I think the more we go over this, is the more we'll begin to understand the significance of what is being conveyed even intuitively. Perhaps I am missing something, or perhaps you are able to see something from just this board here. And if you, of course, feel free to leave your comments, or if you spot anything that I have missed too, or can make more sense out of it. So let's add this here now. This is 3 6 18. This would be 20, and so here would be 24. So 2 plus 4, again we have the 24. So this is telling me there is something very symbolic about 24. It would make sense to really get to understand the number 24, which is really around our time cycle as well. And perhaps it's an emphasis of saying, or letting us know the gift of time that we have been given as well. But 2 plus 4 is 6, which is central to what I have been seeing as Mother Eve as well. Of course, Mother Eve here, although we have the maid as number 5, but of course we have been looking at number 6 as the said God. The said God is the snake. Number 5 is snake, equals snake. So this is what I really wanted to bring across, and to be able to give us the opportunity to digest these synchronistic elements happening here. Because again, we say that the King James Version of the Holy Bible is a mathematical construct, and we want to understand how or what we can do to put us on par with where Mother Eve is calling us to be, because she is asking us and telling us, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Mother Eve is also telling us that what we see as robotic intelligence happening around us, this is not what she means. And it is important that we get to understand what Mother Eve means when she says, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Of course, the number 8 is pivotal in it's the catalyst here, because it's the 8th entrance or entry of what Mother Eve was talking about, in the sense of when she said, let us make man. This is the 8th entry. It is the final entry. So we have ended again a 7,000 year cycle. We have now begun a 7th year cycle, where Uranus is in the house of Taurus, the bull, the earth sign, for 7 years, we are told. And this is where, of course, Uranus as well is equals 22, if I remember clearly, and that is also 4. So we can see the significance of 4 right here. So perhaps I should make a note of this so we can see how the correlations are happening around us. So here we are. You ran us. Of course, other people have or other ways of expressing this planet, but let's see. So we have, this is 3 9 1 5 3 1. If we add this together on here, this is 10 15 18 19 22. So we have all a master number here, which is 11. 2 11s would be 22, so it's 22. Why I am saying this, I'm remembering this, the symbol of number 3. So when we hear about Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, for instance, the 3, this symbol here equals 11. We can see how 11 is actually coinciding with creation, which is number 2. We can see how 3 and 2 is really interrelated. So basically, the numerical constructs or that we have been given, how we have been taught, is to really get us to see things in a separate way, that they are separate to each other, instead of knowing how to use these, excuse me, to the best of our ability, understanding the dynamics of the gods. So I'm going to close here because I can feel my cough is a cough is coming on. So just to consolidate this here, we are concerned about the pattern that we have seen here. We are also concerned about the pattern that we have that corresponds in the very same numbers here. They are the same numbers, although we have numbers 1 to 9, but none of these here have given us any different. It's the same numbers we've got here. And so we have, because we have the gods in alignment, we could say, we have them as follows. And so we have 4, 6, 7, 2, 2, 7, 6, 4. Then we have 2 here, because the final god or entry here, meaning the gods were entered in the same format as the numbers. The gods, the entry of the gods, well, not quite the same, but very close, because we have, wish I could put it aside, side by side here, perhaps. It's the same numbers, but it's not necessarily the same order. It's not the same order, but they are the same numbers. So basically, this cycle that we're about to begin, there is a prescription of the numbers that we are meant to follow. And it is not this format here anymore. We are in a new cycle, and Mother Eve has told us, in actual fact, our cycle begins with the called God, and then the created God. So we need to be following the order of these numbers here, not the order of the gods on here. This is our pathway to understanding. So 1 here, we would have the 7 god here. Just looking at the time, not sure if I can see it now, but we would have 1. So 1 encapsulates the whole of 7 right here, which is the 7-year cycle again that we are in. So there is a capsule. We are in this capsule here with the called God. And then we move on to the created God, then the divided God. Of course, the divided God is also with the blessed God, because they have partnered in numerical value. So the blessed God, which is 3 here, is now in partnership with this God. The made God also with the moved God, of course, which is 5. They are in partnership as well with the ended God. And so these are the format, these are the order we are meant to go. But we haven't got the number 4 here. And this is where we are going to need to call on Mother Eve. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We haven't got 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, perhaps, this 8 here, which also equals 4, is where we are meant to be. We are meant to be observing this number 8 as our 4. Just perhaps, but that is something we'll need to verify, because 4 is really foundation. And of course, it would be the 4th entry to give us that foundation, meaning 8. It would symbolize that we have eaten of the fruit to get the understanding of where we need to be. So I leave you with this. I hope this makes sense. I know it's a lot of information here, but I am hoping I can find a way to really show this in a light that makes sense or more clarity because of the position of um, my boards, and I'm doing the best I can for now. So thank you for joining me. If you like this presentation, um, give us a like, a thumbs up, and do share. And I'm hoping that my voice too will be much clearer and brighter, so we can have a better flow of information on the next presentations. So I leave you with this. Thank you for joining us. And of course, let's end with the words of Mother Eve when Mother Eve says, "Let there be light," and there was light. So thank you.